Alright guys, so we're going to start with the healing. I've been working on keeping him a little more calm now. It's time to start tightening things down a little bit, really making behavior and not being completely crazy like we like to be in the beginning with the younger dog. So more rules now with the dog. So so as you can see, like, he starts down on his own. Down. I don't tell him anything. He starts like that, right? And that's good. I'm going to get more and more control on that as we go along. Create tighter and tighter obedience, and that's how we're going to progress the dog. Down. Out.
Mainly a medication that cost me. Gone from the waist down.
Good boy. Just a little healing pattern.
Then she said, no, I haven't had to eat and things aren't good for me. I said, can I call? And she said that he's
good. Yep. Quiet.
And I said, is he there?
It's time to start being a little bit firm with all the vocalization. He really enjoys vocalizing, but now in the obedience, I start to ask a little more.
Those kids will call him a monster.
Good.
That's why we like me. So no, I don't know exactly what it was. Said that dad has a heart damage. I have a picture of him, and he's got a white mark on his chest. And I've had 4. So and she said that the mother was doing this. So I met the mother when I met 15.
Oh, wow. Now, a lot of you guys might be wondering, it's like, man, it's super busy in here. Yeah, it is. But you know what it does do? It really proofs the dogs on distractions. They're used to other dogs, they're used to people, and not just around, close. And they're used to just focusing completely on the task at hand. That's why I can show all these videos with my dogs under heavy distractions, because we do it all the time just in the training. I don't hide them from distractions. You don't see me in too many empty fields or empty rooms. Most of my training is here with many variables constantly occurring. So it's good. Down. Sometimes, you know, for a young dog, it can be a lot, but that's okay. We take them through it. You know, we don't hide them from it. So what I'm going to start now is I'm going to start some stuff I've been working on with the dumbbell. And it's not so much systems, right? Systems isn't a big thing for me. Like, everybody's on step 1, step 2, step 3. I do systems for people that are new, but for me, I play with behaviors. I see what works for the dog, what doesn't work for the dog, and I shape it the way that I want it to be. So, I'm gonna get my dumbbell, and I'm gonna get started. I got my training dumbbell. Onyx did all of this. When I got Onyx, he used to chew like a beaver. And if you know anything about the sport of IGP, every time your dog chews, it's basically a point, and it's not good. So I had to get all the chewing out of him, but we needed dumbbells to practice with. So he did this. Now, I can take the dowel out and replace it. I just haven't done that yet. But it's okay. I'll train with this anyways. He's a young dog. It's okay. For me, it's not a big deal. And maybe you kind of see what I'm doing and shape. Maybe you understand. Maybe you won't. I'm just going to kind of shape my way through it and see what he responds to and just kind of build the behavior. So what I'm going to do...
Her oldest is 2. They're small too. And no.
Ouch.
She said it didn't look like he was going to.
In case you're wondering, I shouldn't have let him chew this is the danger of letting him chew the ball, you know. It looks like this at the end. I don't normally let my dogs chew on the ball, but I got distracted.
I understand.
And this is not the stock rope. I don't even know where my good balls are.
I don't.
I got a bunch of new ones hanging up there, but
I know.
and I know you guys, where do you get those magnet balls? I import these magnet balls from Belgium. The vests, the magnet systems, everything. I really love them for training, but I go through a lot of them, and I like to really use the ball up before I replace it with a brand new one. So, down. And you can see, like, sits. The activity's good, but it also kind of sometimes gets in the way of his brain working. So, sometimes you have to say, hey dude, shut up. Too much talking. Calm down. So now, the dog, the challenge with me and the dumbbell is this. It's not creating a correct retrieve because he can already kind of do it. For me, the challenge is, I don't want to do anything average with him. I want everything to be above and beyond average. And all the energy and drive that he puts into me, I want him to put into the dumbbell. And right now, he hasn't quite got it yet. He still wants to be more active on me than on the dumbbell. Now, if I made a lot of prey on the dumbbell and played a lot, could it build more intensity? Yes. But he's also a dog who doesn't have the most naturally calm grip. So I think I would get a bit of a chewing problem if I did that. So I want to be very careful with that and make sure that I don't create more problems than I'm solving. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to put it on the ground. I'm going to make a little drive on it. When he shows me strong intensity and drive on the dumbbell, I'm going to let him take it and bring it to me. And all I'm doing, again, it's not about the correctness of the retrieve for me. It's about the power of the retrieve. And that's what I'm trying to build here. So you can watch me play with it a little bit. Sit. So that was actually a lot better than it was yesterday already. Down. What you would see from him a lot out is that he would look at me a lot in the barking down instead of at the dumbbell. And I really want to create in his mind, dumbbell equals ball. Bring the power into the dumbbell and get your ball. Good. You know, I know he's a little bit unstable there, down. A little bit, you can see his ass moving a little bit out. So we want to work on that. Down. Yeah, yeah. And I'm not making it, so I spent in the beginning when I worked on his dumbbells, I spent a lot of time working on the grip on the dumbbell, making sure he had a firm hold on the dumbbell, and really making that a priority. If he was a dog who had more naturally calm grip, I'd probably do a little bit more dump fighting on him with the dumbbell, but he's more like, he likes to punch in and jump on you and stuff like this. None of this is so much good for dumbbell retrieve, so I can't use his natural proclivity to want to fight so much on the dumbbell. A little bit, but not too much, otherwise we go out of control. So now I'm going to add a little electric. Okay, so I'm going to push the electric. Tuck. Nope, come here, out, down. He went around. I never allow my dog to go around. You either go direct or you don't go at all. Tuck. There you go. Good. There you go. There, he was a little on the grip. It's okay. Used a little electric there. Out. And it's no surprise. Some dogs, some German Shepherds, their grip is just always full, hard, and calm. For him, he's more like, he's a chompy kind of guy. Out. Chompy, thrashy dog. Out. Good. So again, down. Good. Good. That's nice. Good job. Very good. So we're getting good commitment there. Still a little tap on the dumbbell a time or two. So now it's time to go back and we make a little drive. Foos. Good. Quiet. So, out. One couple of things to note there. The dog leaks. He does, and I made a lot of power on him, which is part of the reason why he leaks. I made a lot of the barking, a lot of the activity with the dog. That was on purpose, because I'd rather have too much than too little, right? I don't like passive dogs at all. I'd rather lose a little bit points on the noise and the obedience. I'm okay with it. I'd rather have that than a dog who's passive. I want power, power, power. And sometimes with great power, you have to be a little bit careful. So with me, when I say be quiet, if he's looking at me, he must not bark in the foos position. But when I introduce the dumbbell, I don't mind if he barks at it, because that's for him how he displays his power. He's not one of those dogs that just prey locks and starts drooling. No, for him, he's a barky guy. He likes to bark. So if he's going to bark at this, I'm going to allow him now to bark at it. Later on, I say, hey, you must shut up now, and then you get it. And then putting that control on him, hey, dude, be quiet, and then you can get this, that's actually going to bring more power. But first, I let him make power on it. And I like how he's always trying to preempt me, trying to get the party going. He's an active dog, and we worked really hard to make him active. Good. That wasn't good. The reason why that wasn't good, I wasn't prepared, I didn't have my e-collar out. I needed to tap him on those grips. Out. A mistake on my part, a mistake on his part.
Yes,
Good. Oh! Ouch. That was good. And just letting him take it from my hand down. It's a little risky for the fingers, especially with a dog like him once he really gets into it, but I like doing it from time to time so that the dog's always thinking, once the dumbbell comes into the picture, that's all that your focus is. That's all I want. I want you kind of hyper fixated on that dumbbell. So, we do one more restricted retrieve there, and then we're going to call it for him. Good. And you can see there a little bit, we started going back to the old behavior. Ouch. We started going back to the old behavior. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's because I was reaching into my pocket and he was thinking I'm going to give him a reward. So we need to work more. I might back tie him and work a little bit more on this. Out. Down. Down. Most of you pet people probably have no clue. It's like, what the heck is he doing? Who cares, you know? But for what I'm doing, I care. Foos. Out. Down. Good boy. Good. Good. And for the healing with him, I'm going to end on some healing, especially when he's tired. He's still, no matter, this dog really wants to heal ugly. I've experimented with so many different things. Now he heals nice. But every time I experiment with some different things, with the healing, not everything is a unicorn story. Good. And this is nice healing now, and that's because I changed something. But whenever I remove aids, the dog wants to kind of go back to not the prettiest picture. The healing is correct, but again, my goal is not correct. My goal is exceptional. My goal is memorable. My goal is power, power, power. And for me to get that with him, some dogs, like I said before, they move nice. With him, I really have to keep him in the frame. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Now, if I had changed the fixed point, so like the fixed point and the focus heel is where the dog looks. last like 4 dogs, all fixed point has been my face. And I like that because then I can usually see out of the corner of my eye if they're looking at me, and it's easier for me to work with them. Now, a lot of people like a fixed point in their armpit. Personally, I don't like it, and I absolutely hate putting a slimy ball in my armpit. Now, for some dogs, it's the right thing to do. And looking back on this guy, I think if I could change it from the, I don't like changing fixed point once I've already kind of established one a little bit. I might go back and put it in my armpit because for some reason with him, he just wants to push on you and wrap his head around you. He just wants to fall out of frame constantly, and then he kind of has a bit of a hitch in his gait, and his head's all, because his head's kind of turned in like that. And a lot of dogs, like my last couple dogs, they could all do this. They could turn their head but still walk nice. But for him, for whatever reason, maybe it's his height, just his build, whatever. Right? Every dog's a little bit different. He can't walk nice. Now my Malinois, for instance, if you see her doing some focus healing, which I'll show you shortly, is great. She walks super nice next to me and doesn't have any problems kind of staying off the leg and giving me the look. And getting him off my leg's easy. Believe me, I know how to do that too. But the problem is I don't want correct. I want memorable. I want power, okay? Correct for me is like a thing of the past. Correct is like, I'd rather have power and be very memorable than just have the most correct dog on the field, right? So it's always a bit of a balance, and that's what we're fighting. So I've gone back a little bit in my healing. I swear, I've changed my healing like 6 times with this dog. I've never had a dog kind of challenge me so much on the healing, and this dog has been one of them. But you know what? Challenges make you a better trainer, and I'm enjoying the process somewhat of experimenting with him and saying, okay, how can I make this better? What can I change? What can I do? Because I guarantee you now when someone brings me their dog who maybe has a similar kind of challenge, I can help them a lot more. I can't tell you guys how many people I've helped, whether they've got a dumbbell problem, a healing problem, or we're talking regular behavioral, pet obedience problems, because like I've been through it. I've been through it with multiple dogs, I know, right? So every challenge, whether it's competition obedience wise or behavior wise, the more challenges you go through with dogs, as frustrating as it can sometimes be at the time, it does help you develop your toolbox, and then when somebody has that same problem, you know how to help them fix it a lot easier. So some of the most challenging dogs I've ever had to this day have been dogs that I've personally owned. Like the most reactive dog, one of the most reactive dogs I've ever run into was my second German Shepherd that I ever owned, right? And the lessons I learned with that dog, I still use that knowledge today with the dogs that I'm working. So, I've had some real fearful dogs, some real aggressive dogs, all these dogs, again, in the moment, man, I was like, man, I just don't, this is really hard. Like, it's frustrating. You're trying a whole bunch of different things and a lot of stuff isn't working. But that's what builds you as a trainer is those dogs, those difficult dogs. And I see some trainers and they're always with the same kind of, soft, mediocre drive dog. And I'm like, well, and they're always talking about how wonderfully well behaved their dog is. I'm like, yeah, if I have that dog, they have Dizzy basically, like my Malinois. That's the dog that they have, and they want to kind of, oh, I'm so great. And it's like, yeah, that's because you have kind of a soft, easy kind of go along dog. When you have a dog, or when you have a dog on the opposite end of the spectrum, like a real case of just genetic trash, so to speak, those are the ones that really escalate you, or you fail and you either learn from your failure or you just fail completely and you never get any better and you decide to be a positive only trainer because if the other stuff doesn't work or whatever else it is. So don't allow the failures to define you. Be proactive, problem solve your way through it. So anyways, guys, this was like my dumbbell session, a little update on what I'm doing with Gage. Hope you enjoyed it.